Hello everybody, welcome to IA Command. Today in this video we're going to be doing a bit of a news roundup of recent news events, things that have been going on in the Imperial Assault community, both for IACP and official FFG news and some tournament dates and community watch, things like that. So before we get started, first I just want to talk about the Patreon real quick. So for those of you who are Patreon donators, thank you very much. I just want to let you know that we are going to be sending out the next wave of rewards in the second week of October. So if you have donated any money, anything to the channel if you pledge anything starting before October 1st, the payment goes through October 1st, you will be getting the current wave of alt arts, which is going to be the Luke Skywalker, Channel of the Force, and Emperor Palpatine alt arts from me, as well as the previous wave. If you are a new subscriber, if you're a new Patreon, you'll be getting the previous wave as well. And also, kind of as a thank you to my longtime Patreons that have been donating and supporting the channel for quite a while, or for people that have given a lot to the channel to help support me. I am also going to be announcing the next wave of alt arts. This is going to be the final wave of IA Command alt arts of this style, of this particular style. As you see, we've got Temporary Alliance, Balance of the Force, and Rule by Fear. And these are going to be sent out to any Patreons that have donated $20 or more from now to whenever. But if you are just a regular Patreon, these are gonna be going out in December. So if you're just a regular Patreon member who maybe recently started pledging, you're gonna get these as the next wave in December. Don't worry. But if you donate or if you give more than 20, these are gonna go out early to you. So just wanted to update you guys on that, and then let's go on into the actual show. So let's start off with some tournaments. So a lot of people have been getting dates back from their LGSs, their local game stores, on the regionals. So it's actually regional season, and I think they call them Prime Championships now. And a lot of stores have gotten back to people, and people have been posting in the Slack and online. And there's also a lot of Premier level events that are going to be happening between now and Worlds 2020. So these are the dates and locations that I was able to gather before putting this video up. So as you can see, there's quite a few large tournaments happening between now and Worlds. And a lot of them are actually going to be IACP tournaments. You've got the Home Base Games Expo in Illinois is going to be IACP. The Walker Classic is going to be IACP, I believe. That is a tournament over in Colorado. And then I think there's one regionals that's going to be ICP, but other than that, it's going to be standard play because a lot of these are FFG supported, so people want to run them as standard tournaments, and that's totally fine. And so that's going to be the tournament schedule going forward. If you have heard of a tournament or a regionals or a large scale tournament that's not up on this list, please let me know in the comments. And that way everybody else who's watching this video can know. So I just want people to know, be aware of the tournaments that might be happening in their area, especially people who aren't always on the Slack and might not be aware. All right, so moving on from that, we are looking at, actually really quick, I want to talk about Worlds. So Worlds 2020 is going to be in Adepticon again. It is confirmed there is going to be another Worlds Championship for Imperial Assault. However, for those who don't know, FFG has recently transitioned to a system where players have to qualify to attend Worlds to play in the actual tournament, the main event. And for some reason, they have decided to apply this system to our tiny game of Imperial Assault, which is kind of frustrating because it means that if you have not won a regionals, a prime, a grand championship, a world championship in 2019, you're not going to be able to play in the main event. So what they're going to do is they're having a last chance qualifier event that's going to be the day before the main event. And they're going to allow a certain number of people, top qualifiers from that event, to play in the main event. Now, what we need to do, because there was actually a organized play rep at the Nova Open, from what I've been told, and people were talking to him, and he was saying that the number of total seats they're going to have available is going to depend on the level of interest they see expressed. So what needs to be done is you guys, all of you players who love Skirmish, love Imperial Assault, need to get on the FFGOP social media accounts and start tweeting and posting and letting people know that this is not okay, and you want to see Imperial Assault Worlds 2020 open to everyone, available to everyone. At least increase the number of seats so that anybody who plays in the last chance qualifier will know that they have a seat guaranteed in the main event. Because, yeah, they have to do this last chance qualifier thing. There's no getting around that. That's just their policy. But it really just depends on how many seats max they have open in the main event. So the best way you can do this, get on Twitter or get on Facebook. Go to the FFG Organized Play Twitter or Facebook and just hit that tweet and make sure it's like at FFGOP, hey, please let us play in Worlds, or please open up more seats in Worlds. Just probably more eloquent than that, but let them know through the social media. I want to talk briefly about their community coordinator, Matt Holland. He's new as of April, but people have told me he is very responsive to people who contact Organized Play through either Twitter or Facebook. He listens, and he's really great. He just, he's probably got a lot on his plate, so people have to speak up. We got to speak up. Go over to those accounts. Tell FFG that you want Worlds to be open to everybody through the last chance qualifier. Even if you're not planning on playing at Worlds, just let them know, because the people who want to go to play Worlds, they should be able to know that they're going to get in. Because otherwise, it's like you buy a ticket, you buy a plane ticket, you do all that, and then you're not... If you don't even know you're going to be able to play in the main event, like, that's a big risk to take for people. So just, if you love the game, if you support Skirmish at all, advocate for FFG to fix this mess, because Worlds should be for everybody that wants to play. Okay, so let's go on to more some positive news here. There is a new podcast that is just launched out of London. There are 3 people, so this is a new podcast focused on Skirmish, mostly IACP, but Skirmish in general as well. And this is being hosted by Isaac Borno, also known as Isaac K. Joe. He is a competitive player over in London. He's actually quite young, but he's very good. He's got a lot of tournament wins under his belt. And co-hosted by David Gao, who has been on the channel here, is a competitive player that's done quite well for himself, and his wife, Jessica Gao, who is also a Skirmish player and loves the game. And all 3 players love this game, and they have posted a introductory episode up on Podbean, and I believe they're up on iTunes as well, so you can find them there through your podcast app. And they're going to be doing a format of... they said they're going to be talking about Skirmish and matchups and lists, and David's going to have a section on player psychology, and Jessica's going to be doing new player Padawan help format section. So that's going to be really great. I've already listened to it. It's great. They sound great, and I'm really looking forward to this new podcast. All right. So next up, we have news from the IACP. The IACP has released mid-season 2 changes to tweak their current cards. So we'll go through all these changes really briefly here. This is going to be version 2.2 for season 2. And so they've changed, Furious Charge has been changed. They had bumped it up to 3 points to be conservative, but they have removed that change, so it is now 2 points, just like the original card is printed, so there's no change to that. Hunter Instincts has been renamed to Mandalorian Tactics. I'll talk about that in a moment when we talk about Boba. There's been some nerfs to some of the cards. So Imperial Retrofitting, and let's go down and look at these. Imperial Retrofitting has been changed. You can no longer use it with the ATDP. You can only use it on the other 3 massive vehicles. I think they were concerned that the ATDP was being overused a little bit with this upgrade because it was the cheapest vehicle and already the most powerful. So, and they also removed, I think it used to give you a block token. Yeah, a block token, and there was a problem with that, and like Thrawn, I guess. And the 2 black dice on the ATSD. So that's been nerfed a little bit. Cohesive Fire Team has been restricted to twice per activation with that minimum 1 damage ability. So like if a Stormtrooper is attacking Vader, they could use that to do 1 damage even if they don't get anything through. So that's nerfed a little bit for 3 figure squads. They have also nerfed Suppressive Fire. They took away the Strain, so now it just does Weakened, and you still get the 2 movement points from that. And Jin Odon got a little bit of a nerf. Her Sidewinder ability has been restricted to limit once per round. That was a suggestion that I had made and that some other players had keened in on. With it was just a little ridiculous that she could get Sidewinder off of her main attack plus her quick draw. Got a little bit crazy. And then let's see, Royal Guard Champion has been lowered to 10 points. I don't think he's on here, but that's okay. So he went from 11 to 10 points, so great. I mean, I thought he was pretty decent at 11, but now he's really good at 10. So he's going to probably see a lot of play. And then finally, let's talk about Boba. So Boba Fett, he has gotten a buff. He was not doing great with the previous version. So his new version, he still costs 13 points, and all of his abilities that cost movement points have been lowered to only costing 2 points instead of 3 movement points. So now you only need to spend 1/3 of an action to use them, which is a lot better than having to spend half of your movement action. Wrist Rocket, in addition, has been buffed, so it's now within 4 spaces instead of 3. And Wrist Flamethrower has also been buffed, so now it deals 1 damage and a strain in addition to being weakened to those figures instead of just doing a strain and weaken. So that's a great buff. And he also got +1 health. In addition to that, they changed his command card. Let's see. So instead of you still get the free movement, but you also get to do a free attack without spending an action by spending 2 movement points. And actually, I believe that means you could do I think you could do that a lot, because that's 3 attacks with the 1 move action, so you could probably attack 6 times. I think actually they might need to fix that. It's quite powerful now. So I'm definitely looking forward to trying out Boba in the new IACP version. He has gotten a lot stronger. And on that note, they are also doing Season 2 Testing League number 2 with the new changes. So those signups are open now. You guys can find that on the IA Continuity Project's main webpage. Further news for IA Continuity Project, they are now supporting their own organized play with regional and community kits. So IACP is going to be producing these tournament kits that you can purchase, and they haven't shown any of the prizes yet. Those are still in development. However, the regionals are going to come with the option of purchasing a bonus glass trophy for the winner, or you can purchase it without the trophy to save money if you want it cheaper. And by the way, that design is a work in progress, I have been told. So I think they're still tweaking the font on that and the design a little bit, but I'm sure it'll look great once it comes out. And it's really exciting because this kind of lets us know that even when FFG finally shuts the door on the game after Worlds, sometime after Worlds, that the community is going to be here and they're going to be supporting organized play. And in addition to the regionals kits, they're doing community kits, and these are going to be for more casual play and for bringing new people into the game, that give alt arts for attending. And you can run these as tournaments, or you could even do these as like leagues or learning nights. These are going to be really great for building your local community and bringing new players into the game. And also on that note, the IACP has made a change to the steering committee. This is back in the beginning of September. They've brought on Isaac Borno, who we talked about earlier, is on the new podcast. He's going to be helping out with developing the ICP organized play kits. So he's the one who created a lot of those kits, or helped create that. So that's great news. Glad to have him on board. All right, and now kind of moving on, we have some official FFG news. This was back in late August, but I thought I'd talk about it. New raid map for the Imperial Assault app. This is going to be for the raid mode that came out. This is using tiles from the Twin Shadows and Heart of the Empire expansion. They said there is going to be a playmat for this, a rubber mat, but we still haven't gotten the one for the first raid map yet. This isn't available on the app yet, but should be soon. And one of the key differences, I believe, is that this one is allowing your heroes to go up to 4 XP. The previous raid was you could only go up to 3 XP, so that'll be good for heroes that really rely on those 4 XP abilities like Gideon. So that'll be fun when it comes out. And finally, I just kind of wanted to touch on this. Recently, at the end of August, head of studio Andrew Navaro did an AMA video live. He answered some questions. They took questions on the FFG forums for these, and there were a ton of people submitting questions about Imperial Assault. They all got like a ton of likes. Like each was like 50 to 70 likes each. A lot of people came out to support the game and find out what's going on. I'm just going to play a little section of this for you guys so you guys can kind of hear what was said. There was some other, it's not everything, but this is kind of the main thing that was said about the game.
So this one's from Matsu Robin and Dusk4224 actually as well. Basically, it all kind of boils down to, can I ask why you've stopped producing content for Imperial Assault?
Yeah, I don't know if I can really get into it too much, but there's business reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can really say more than that. It's, I think it, like, at the end of the day, it makes a lot of sense, given how much content exists for that game. Like, there's, almost 60.
Yeah, a little bit over.
More.
I mean, if you count mats and stuff.
Yeah.
Over
like
60.
60, like so many products, so much content.
Yeah.
Like a lot of really great stuff. That again, like considering how we're approaching product lines now, I think we'd consider that a complete product line. There's enough there to really satisfy people for years and years and years and years and years. So I hope people are happy with the line as it exists, and happy with the stories that the game told. But even when it comes to supporting Star Wars, like we only have so much bandwidth, and we need to really want to focus on the things that are exciting us at the moment.
Yeah. So there you go. Business reasons. I mean, it kind of just confirms for me what has been theorized is that FFG, in order to get this game made, had to enter into this weird secret agreement, NDA with Hasbro that they're not allowed to talk about, and it allowed them to make some other board games like Outer Rim and Rebellion, but now they're like trying to get away from that and make their games that they can make on their own, like Legion and Armada and X-Wing. And I mean, he said it in the beginning, he's like, I don't know if I can talk about that for business reasons. Clearly a canned response that their legal team has given him to say when people ask him about it. He uses that phrase one or two more times in the video. Somebody asks if FFG would be able to put Imperial Assault, like, new cards into Legion products to kind of piggyback it, and he's like, oh, we can't do that for business reasons. So I mean, I just wrote that because it's relevant. I haven't talked about it on the channel yet, and I mean, if you need another reason to just jump into IACP and kind of embrace it, like, there you go. The other striking thing for me that he said was like that they don't care about Imperial Assault anymore. He said they only have so much bandwidth for their Star Wars products for the ones that they're excited about, and it seems Imperial Assault doesn't fall into that camp for them anymore. So that was the AMA with Andrew Navaro. I'll post a link in the description, of course, with some timestamps for where they talk about Imperial Assault. Everything's going to be in the description. That's going to wrap it up for this one. thank you guys for watching. Remember, get those Patreon pledges in before October 1st so that you can get that sweet Luke Skywalker alt art and Palpatine and Balance of the Channel of the Force. And now I'm going to leave you guys with a sweet little example of what you might hear on the new Built on Hope podcast.
Hey guys, I'd like to tell you a little story. It's actually a tale as old as time. Greedo versus Han. True rivalry. Who shot first? Unexpectedly. End of round one.